In continuation of our 2025 series, I'm going to be talking about some traits that you do not need, in 2025. Number one, you do not need backbiting. You see, there's a saying that says backbiters are constantly on the back. And in 2025, for you to be successful, you do not need to be part of the bandwagon of people that want to pull others down. There are some people listening to me that all they do is to pull other people down. Wherever you see any shred of success, you try as much as possible to manipulate and pull people down and ensure that they do not get to the position they ought to get to. Somebody was telling me a story recently about how he helped somebody, and when it was the person's time to be able to lift him up, he pulled him down. Today, that person that pulled him down is still coming to seek help from him. So the question is, why did he pull him down when he ought to have helped him? And that's the way backbiters are. You that you are so quick to go out there and destroy another person's fortunes because it's not coming to you. It is a level of evil spirit that inhibits growth prospect in your life. And when these things inhibit growth prospect in your life, you cannot take full delivery of the supernatural blessings God has for you. The truth is, God has myriads of blessings for you in the new year, but your attitude prevents you from getting the blessings. Because if you cannot celebrate the goodness that happens for other people, how is goodness going to come your way and be your lot? And the truth is, a lot of people dwell in this mindset. They are backbiting, they are telling lies of other people, they're trying to bring other people down. The energy at which you are using to bring other people down, if you use it to create something tangible in your life will move a whole lot further. But for them, their energy is to be able to bring other people down so that they can remain in their position. I have heard people say, we all failed. And you take consolation in the fact that everybody failed. How about people succeeding? And everybody succeeded. But for you, if you can't succeed, we all should fail. Like they say, misery loves a lot of company. So because you are miserable in your life, you have company in other people that are miserable. It is a warped level of thinking, and that's why you are 44. You have never achieved anything in your life. You have just been a keypad warrior behind backbiting about the prospect of others. And you're excited that as a collective, people failed. For you, it is your joy that things do not work well for people in their lives. So you try as much as possible to pull people down when you get the chance because you don't want anybody to be better than you. And it's a warped level of thinking that you need to change because the prosperity of others too should be able to propel you to do great things. Have you ever wondered how we are so set in our mindset that somebody buys a generator and he calls it, I better pass my neighbor? So for him, the greatest standard is looking at what the other person doing and how he can surpass the other person when he forgets, like the Bible says, exceedingly abundantly pressed down, shaken together, running over, so God will do for you. I keep telling people, your greatest competition is not the other person. Your greatest competition is yourself. Your capacity to be able to reinvent yourself and be better than the last thing you have done is your greatest competition. But a lot of people say, oh, I have to be better than the other person. When you start to live your life as a standard based on how other people live their lives, then it is the beginning of failure and it is beginning of not appreciating the innate gifting God has given to you. See, we are not blessed in the same way. Graces differ, and we can never be blessed in the same way. As our faces are different, so our heart desires are different, so the blessings of God in our life is different, so the inclination to the way we do things definitely will be made different. They are not two the same people. Even twins that came out of the same womb, they have different capacities and capabilities in the world. So when you know that, when you see people prosper, rather than you backbite them, celebrate their achievements. Celebrate them. The best you can do is to thank God for their achievements and have it at the back of your mind that the God that did for them will do. That's if the achievements are genuine. Because some of their achievements might not be genuine. It might also be because they too are caught up in the web of showing off that they've got something working in their life when nothing is working in their life. But if you can, within your capacity, why don't you celebrate people and live a life that is less of malice, with malice to none, with a lot of charity to all, because you are blessed in different ways. So in this year, take out the toxicity of backbiting. It is the reason for every problem in your life. Your heart is not at rest. And you see, let me tell you something. If you do not think good thoughts towards people, your heart will not be at rest. When your heart is not at rest, it will bring in all sorts of diseases. Hope you know that diseases like high blood pressure and many other diseases in your body are linked to the way your heart operates. Some people, they will never have rest. You know why they'll never have rest? They are concerned about the destruction and the pulling down of other people's lives. So they do not have the capacity to be able to have rest in everything that concerns them. For them, their life is centered around the guilt that they have not destroyed another person's path to success. So when they rummage around the guilt too much, it takes the shine off the rest they are supposed to have. Rest is also about thinking positively. What is your outlook and your mentality on life? If your rest is about harboring all sorts of heinous things and bad things, you will never grow. You will never be successful. You will never make prospect out of your life. You will never make prosperity. Because your life has become that of constantly thinking of how to bring people down. And when you're thinking of how to bring people down, like I said before, you yourself can never have an overall well-being, because psychologically you'll be disturbed. You are constantly watching. Your standard is how bad things have been for another person so that you can look good. So in anything, in your words, in your thoughts, you are thinking of how to bring them down. You are thinking of how to ensure that people do not thrive. You are thinking of how to backbite people. There are some of you, you have never said anything good about anybody in your life. You have never given any good recommendation about anybody in your life. For you is, how can I ensure that people are broken, people are unhappy, people are unkind, because I am unhappy. And that spirit of rage dominates your life. And you are living a life of bondage. You remember that Nigerian Nollywood movie back in the days, made by Neck Films, Andy, living in bondage. So there are a lot of you, are living in bondage. And you see, because you have money does not mean your mentality will change. Don't deceive yourself. If you do not make a deliberate effort at a change of this backbiting mentality, you will never be successful. There are billionaires that have this backbiting mentality. For them, it's a show off of how wealthy they are of the other person. For them, what consolation is, I am wealthier than the other person. And that's why you see, for people that understand this, they use it against them. They praise them every time to get largesse from them. No, you are wealthier than the other person. Because people say human being is competitive by spirit, but the truth is, the greatest competition should be within yourself. So if you do not establish their facts, then you can never get to your place of success.